Hi, my name's Yasmin and I'm the DM.
Hi, my name is Samantha. I play Elora Greyveil and she is a sorceress from the province of Nephalia.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I play Ogvar Shawford, a goat-herding, mushroom-seeking ranger from Kessig.
Hi, I'm Rick, and I play Otto, a spring sage from Hanweir sworn to the land, wandering the plain and setting wrongs to right with his ursine companion, Bojo.
Hi everyone, we are back! The Secrets of the Silver City is back on air and our usual weekly scheduling has now resumed. After our 6-week break, we are returned and refreshed and we hope that you enjoyed the Delian Tomb that was streamed during our absence. So, without further ado, let's jump straight back into where we had left off in episode 167. With the focus on their flying fortress, Elora appeals to Eric for a pot of paint, and a successful search of some understairs storage revealed a pot of silver and a super stubborn inflatable ball. After the possibility of painting an icon onto the ship's sails was dismissed, Eric was once more employed in a search for paint sporting a somewhat darker shade, and this time it was a small rubber duck that sent him quackers. Things were finally finished as a massive milestone was reached and the structural changes to their new base of operations was completed. Esther and Elora tasked themselves with installing some finishing touches to make the Elysian Shadow a home from home. And as we left in episode 167, Elora pleads with Otto to play nicer with Paul. Episode 168, A Walk in the Shark.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys bugger off to the forest and I'll go and spend some time in the sea and try and find your ghost friend some fish to play with. And with that, he will turn around and head over to the boat to dive off into the water.
Laura's just going to give him a wave. Happy hunting?
Yep.
Yeah,
you go over the side of the boat, Otto, with a big sploosh. Passing by Paul, who's... well, actually, no, you're not over water. So if you jump over the side of the boat, you're going to be landing on hard ground.
That would be mildly embarrassing. So he might save himself by turning into a bird before going into the water.
Elora will snigger because she's not missed that.
Yeah. So you fly over the sea and you eventually you obviously travel it out that you've got enough depth and you plop yourself down into the water and you disappear and go hunting for fish, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I think I shall spend some time as an octopus again. It's my favourite form in the water, and he'll just keep bringing up some fish onto the beaches, try and find a nice little tidal pool to throw them in temporarily while he fetches some more. And then when the tide threatens to come in, he'll come up and collect them and drag them back over to the tower somewhat later.
Yeah, can you make me a survival check, please?
I certainly can. No pressure. First roll of 2025. Sure, this could possibly go wrong. Well, I mean, that's okay. I've got a 15 plus 10, 25.
Oh, that's all right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're very
Better than my 1 and a 7.
True.
Yeah. You're very successful in looking for fish. You come across some big seafaring fish. And yeah, you're able to find a tidal pool which is big enough to take them. Which isn't too far from the beach. You may have to shuffle over the sand a little bit, but it's not too far away.
Perfect. There you go. Well, that is he's going to quite happily spend some time in a strop doing that.
Excellent.
I guess in the meantime, Ogvar, Esther, and Elora would probably have gone off to find some scrubland or woodland, anything that we could find that was nearby.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, Ogvar?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so are you... are you taking the ship, or are you going via horse, via foot? How are you doing that?
Is the boat noisy when it flies?
No noisier than a ship would be. You get the occasional creaking, flapping of the sails, but it's otherwise fairly quiet.
Oh. The driving practice for the boat? Ship, boat, vessel?
Yep. I'm going to find some
Tub.
woodland. Yeah, I guess we would... I think Elora would have asked Eric if he'd like to come with us.
Yeah, I mean, Eric will come with you, 100%. Mostly to carry on his research on the ship. You get the feeling he's still busy researching away, and you can see that his kind of piles of scrolls which he was carrying with him have now kind of been pasted into a book which have got lots of fold out inclusions which he has to fold back up as he turns the book, and they all kind of out the book like a pack of cards exploding basically, and he has to fold them back up and tuck them back in. And this book is now, where you usually have a book which is like that, the book is like that. It is like a large angle from the amount of paper that's been pasted into this thing. And yeah, so
I suppose we would be angling to take the ship to the edge of the nearest woodland.
Yeah.
okay.
Ogvar, just let me know when you get to the edge of the woodland, and I'm just going to go and do some stuff in the ship, but give me a shout when we get there, okay?
Okay. I will let you know. Yeah, so Ogvar will attempt to pilot the ship, I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're able to make me a quick sailing check for me.
Oh dear. Sailing, yes. That'd be a 13 with a +2 for a 15.
Yeah, it's not a high DC. It's not a nicer day as it has been, but it's still a fairly calm day. The wind rocks the ship gently, but it's also not, it's not massively windy or adverse conditions. So yeah, it's a pretty smooth sail. You are able to go out further over the land. The area that you're in, that Jenrik set up his tower, is in quite a flat plain, so there's not much woodland around it. And as you begin to travel towards the woodland, you can see that this is a mixture of kind of like a boggy woodland. Clearly it's quite a wet area, the water is pooled, it looks quite peaty, but it also smells really rich, and from your kind of ranger abilities you can tell that it's a very kind of virile piece of land. It's full of creatures. You can see, even from the height that you're travelling, you can see clear tracks of creatures like deer. You can see movement of hares in the grass. It's clearly a very kind of verdant and lush area, which is going to provide a really nice kind of opportunity for you to go and hunt, basically.
Oh, good.
Okay, so you make your way over and you reach effectively kind of like the border between plain and forest, quite easily. What are you doing?
Okay. I will go and fetch Elora.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
We're here now, Elora. Are you coming down with us?
Oh, Yeah, sure, that didn't take long. Nice. Should we try out this communication device? If we're going off the boat, I assume that we're going to leave Eric up here? Or is he coming? So, yes. He's not... I suppose we should leave somebody on the ship. Shouldn't really leave it unattended.
I suppose so, yes.
So she's going to shuffle about in her backpack and see if she can find the stones that they found. The stones of far speech that they found on
necklace,
the fourth floor of Jenrik's tower. Now, if I remember correctly, it was an amulet, which was, I think, a green amulet, and then there were 4 red stones that were connected to it that you could hand out so 4 other people could kind of use it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a necklace. They're all like necklaces. Imagine it kind of like an interlocking necklace, like you get those best friend charms.
Oh, it's on a necklace, right?
Yeah, it's like those. You get those best friend charms where they split in half, and one person takes the one half, the other person takes the other. It's like those, but it's split multiple different ways, and each one's got its own individual chain.
Okay, fine. She's going to hand Eric. Eric, here's. You may have seen this. This was Jenrik's, and he said that we could help ourselves to it, so we have. If you take this amulet, this is connected to these ones, so that you have that one. That's the main one, the master one, and we'll take. There's me and Ogvar and Esther. We'll take one each of these red ones, and we'll see if we'll just check how well these work.
Okay, you are aware that the green gem is the controlling gem, so it's probably better if you have it.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I've not used this before, Okay, fine. So she switches the red one on the chain that she has for the controlling green amulet on the chain, and she takes that one herself.
Yeah, okay, sure. So, you take it. Are you descending from the ship?
Yes, how far is the ship... I say it's docked. How far is the ship parked, docked, moored?
How high do you want it?
Well, we need to be able to get off it. I mean, I can dim doors off this. It's not a problem. So, whatever height that you feel like, Ogvar, just park it where you want.
Okay. I'll leave it up in the air a little bit so things don't climb aboard.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think we need to get used to that sort of thing.
Okay.
I can drop you down and raise you back up if that would help.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be handy, yeah. Let's do that then. So, yeah, Elora will wait for the ship to go back down.
Yep.
Have we even got a gangplank? Presumably there's a ladder down the outside of the ship.
Yeah, you've got one of those inbuilt ladders, and it will take you down. It might be like a 5-foot, 10-foot drop. You're easily able to kind of drop and roll and get down without too much damage to yourself. You might land kind of funny, and you get that feeling when like all the tendons on your top of your foot go, and it's like twang. You get that, and you're like, ooh, as you kind of hop around trying to straighten your foot out. But other than that, Eric's able to drop you down and then raise the ship back up, and he takes it about 10-15 foot off the floor. Quite easy.
Fine. Okay, so we've all disembarked then at this point, and we'll go off into the woods, and I'll just test the amulet first. Come in, Eric, are you there?
You're forgetting something.
Oh. Am I? What am I forgetting? I'm trying to find... What? I did do.
At the end.
Oh. Come in, Eric.
Okay, so I'm not picking it up on this end because it's not loud enough. You hear a response. I can hear you, Elora.
Okay, that's great. They're working then.
I believe so.
Right.
Can everyone else hear this?
I can't.
Yeah, everyone who's got an amulet can hear it. So Otto's the only one who can't because he's currently fishing. He's playing Go Fish.
The Otto.
Gone fishing. That's what the promo's got to be a sign saying "Gone
God.
fishing," isn't it? Right. Okay. So, satisfied with that, Elora will just tuck that back in her front, and she will say, "I'll tell you what. You're the ranger around here. You've got the bow and arrow. I'll keep quiet. I'll follow you. I'll take your lead. You okay, Esther?"
Oh, yes, dearie.
Excellent.
Okay, we'll see what we can find.
Can I just ask? I know.
thought you said you were going to be quiet.
Sorry. I know. Ogvar has got. They've both got the orbs attached to their weaponry, haven't they? This is off pod. They've both got the orbs attached to their weaponry. Can I just ask you? You said that your axe was a battle axe. Now, battle axe is a double-headed axe. I had a conversation with Yaz in the week about this because I was trying to do something, and she said no, he's got a woodsman's axe. So can I just confirm?
Don't
what
get
you've
me
got?
started on the genealogy of axes, because you're going to be very surprised the difference between real axes and fancy axes.
What do you?
By description, it is a masterworked battle axe.
Which is double or single-headed? Would it be like a woodsman's axe?
Is this what it is in my head, or this is what you I
No, I think this is what you see it as.
Yeah.
Because you've labelled it as battle axe. It doesn't matter what D&D
Yeah.
says. What would you see it as?
I imagine Ogvar would have like a woodsman's axe.
Yeah, that's what Yasmin thought it would be like. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Sorry, I just needed to clear that up.
Yeah.
So, you're leading on.
Okay. Right, so let's see if we can pick up some tracks or something, and so look down here. The ground's fairly soft, and we should be able to see. Yeah, there's one there, and it's going over. It's going over that way. Right, okay. I think I'm onto something now. So yeah, Ogvar will attempt to track something.
Okay. So you can make me a tracking check, please.
Yay! I rolled a 7 with a plus 14.
Oh,
Nice.
That's going to be
21.
21.
Yeah, that'll do it. You are able to very quickly pick up some tracks, and yeah, you can tell that this is an extremely lush piece of land. Just looking around, you can see traces of multiple deer, lots of hare, smaller prey animals. You can hear squirrels chittering in the trees. You can hear the sounds of frogs, kind of croaking and burbling in the kind of murky depths, because this is very boggy forest. So you've got a lot of pooled water, a lot of the roots are submerged in the water itself, making like lovely little hollows for frogs to nestle into. And yeah, you can tell it's probably going to be it'd be easy tracking across this land because it's quite wet and muddy, but it's going to be difficult keeping quiet.
Squelch.
While Ogvar is busy tracking and doing his thing, just for the record, Elora has pulled out her long bow and she's got an arrow knocked ready as she's walking along.
Okay. You've got an arrow knocked. Okay. So, Ogvar, you're going to be very easily able to track stuff and hunt stuff, as are you, Otto. So can you both roll me a d20, please?
Otto.
Yes,
Otto, not me
both
there.
It's
Otto
the fish.
and Ogvar.
The fisherman.
Ah, sorry, I
it's
thought I
fishing.
did that before. Okay. No, there you go.
Oh, God.
Sorry, the survival check, yes?
No, just a straight d20 roll, please.
Okay, sorry. A whole 11.
Nice.
I've got 10 less than that.
I
I got a 1.
Woo! That is the first one of 2025. That glory goes to Ryan.
Okay.
Wah,
So,
wah, wah.
I'll let go of the bow and just hold on to the arrow. The bow shot backwards.
Oh dear.
I dodge.
So Otto, by dint of being in the water longer, you do have the advantage here. You're able to pull some really quite big fishy creatures out of the water. Other octopi, squid, big fish. You're able to pull out 11 of them and safely stow them in a pool of water. Meanwhile, having travelled and arrived and started tracking, Otto, you're able to bag a really big looking buck. And you've shot it down, you've hunted it, it looks like a really healthy male deer. And at this point, I would like... Otto, can you please make me a spot check, please? Unless you have a special quality as an octopus that would give you an advantage.
No, not at the moment, so it would just be the spot check then. That makes sense.
Okay.
That is a truly average 10, but with a plus 18, so 28.
Okay. That's pretty good, and give me one second. What did you roll, sorry, Otto?
10
Or
plus
what did you
18
have?
for 28.
Okay, that's cool. You begin. What is your range of vision, Otto?
Normal-ish. I can look up the squid specifically if you'd like, see if there's anything else on there. Or a giant octopus, I should say. 1 second.
Yeah.
Pause for dramatic effect. While the file's loading.
Dun, dun, dun.
Come on. You know you want to. It's getting there. Not quickly, but it is getting there. There we go. Don't think I get anything at all from the octopus, but I am just double checking.
Okay, and while you're doing that, Otto,
nothing.
Ogvar and Elora, can you please both make me spot checks?
Spot
Ew.
check.
Spot check. Ah! That's a nat 20 plus 7.
Ooh,
First
job.
one of the year.
that 20 still wasn't higher.
Yeah.
Ogvar rolled a 14 with a plus 11 for 25.
25.
Good numbers. Good numbers.
Nice.
Good numbers. 27 and 25. Lovely.
Okay,
She hasn't used her bow for
So-
a while. A long while.
Otto,
Yes.
as you are swimming perhaps into some deeper water in hope of getting maybe some bigger prey, something a bit larger, maybe a large tuna fish, or anything else like that you can find, you become aware of, within the murk of the water, this kind of deep steely blue sea, you see in the distance, probably just on the edge of your range of vision, you can see a blurry figure beginning to approach, apparently. It looks like it's
God,
drawing,
never split the party.
it looks like it's drawing a little closer, and is moving with some intent. Ogvar and Elora, as you truss up this deer and you start, walking back towards the ship, intending to drop it off or at least stow it somewhere safe, where no predators are going to steal your prey. You both notice in the surrounding areas some what appears to be remnants of creatures. By the looks of it, you can see a partially eaten skull, like picked clean skull, perhaps some innards, even the occasional kind of gold coin or even like a rusty looking dagger just scattered around the place. And can you make me another spot check, please?
It's a 19 plus 7 for a 26 this time.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
We got a 4 plus 11 for a 15.
Okay. So, Elora, as you take a look closer, you can see what appears to be some kind of plant is growing across the floor. It looks to have unusually flat, like stem-like protrusions, and it appears to be making like kind of like a big web. They're crossing over each other, and they're just generally all around this area that you're currently walking through.
Ogvar, do you recognise this? Have you seen this plant before?
Which plant?
These ones that are on the floor, they're quite noticeable. They've got quite a broad leaf, but they're growing quite flat. Do you know what they are?
I don't know. I don't know if there's some sort of check I could do.
Do you want to make me a survival check, please?
We can certainly give it a go. A 4 plus a 14 for an 18.
Yeah, okay. You're not really sure what this plant is. As you take a closer inspection, and you poke at it, and the kind of tendrils seem very rubbery. They seem very squishy, although they are flat on the floor. And it is as you take a poke at this plant on the floor, that a 23, a natural 1 plus 12, 13, and a 5, 6, 17. So does a 23 and a 17 hit your flat-footed AC?
I can't be caught flat-footed, but my AC is 17, so yes, it does.
Okay. So they both hit. Hang on a second. Let me just
great.
figure out. Okay, so hang on. So that wouldn't have been a 17. What would that be? 17, 23 minus 3. So a 20 and a 15. No, a 14. So only one would hit you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are going to take a D4's worth of damage. As I can't be bothered to get D4, so I'm just going to use the D8 and half it. So that is going to be 2 points of damage.
2 points of damage, no problem.
All around you, these flattened tentacles begin to rise up and writhe about the pair of you. Elora, you are also going to 7 plus 9, 9, 15, 16 to hit your flat-footed.
Yes, definitely.
A 25 to hit your flat-footed. And
Most definitely.
a 20 to hit your flat-footed. So
Yeah.
you'll be hit by 3 of these
3.
as they begin to rise upwards and flail
Okay.
about with 1 point, 3 points, and another 1 point of damage for a total of 5 points of damage.
Okay.
As you are whipped by, slammed into by these tentacles. And you can see as they rise up, the undersides of these tentacles, which you couldn't see because they're pressed against the ground, are covered with almost sucker-like protrusions. But instead of suckers, they have eyes.
Oh,
Ugh.
ew.
And Otto, back in the water, what are you doing?
Seeing the shape come ahead, does it seem to be quite large or bigger than me at the moment?
You can estimate that it's quite a fair distance away, but it looks quite large already.
Okay, so given that we've had problems out here perhaps in the past, and I am aware suddenly that I'm all by myself, I think I'll be moving closer to the surface with the distinct intention of turning into a rather large flying thing if this thing insists on getting close enough that I can see its teeth.
Okay, how fast is your move speed?
As a squiddy?
Yep.
Well, giant octopus, or squid. It is 1 second. 30 feet. Because I haven't cast any unusual spells. I'm not expecting trouble.
As you begin to rise to the surface of the water, you realise that this creature is closing in incredibly quickly. And as it comes barreling towards you, you can see the oversized form of a humongous shark.
Leaving now.
Massive shark. It is long, it is big, it is bulky, and it looks mean as fuck as it barrels towards you, and it is going to attempt to take a bite at you with a 46 to hit.
I'm going to suggest that might just about catch me. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the actual?
46.
46. What? Dealing 3, 7, 10. 23 points of damage.
Ow.
And what is your
Ow.
size?
As a large.
A large.
Yeah.
Okay,
One
so
bite
it is going
smaller
to...
than it was before.
It is going to attempt to grapple you as a free action, without provoking the attack of opportunity. So it is going to attempt to grapple you.
We're
With
being punished for splitting the party.
Like you think.
with a 2 rolled, that is a 41 on the grapple check.
Oh my god!
It rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2.
Yes. It may have grappled me, and I presume the next words are swallowed me.
No, it's grappled you.
Oh shit. Okay.
And for
Oh
the
dear.
added,
No what? No,
Wait.
no hand. No hand.
And you wake up, it was all a dream.
you wish. I would like everyone to roll initiative, please.
Oh, God.
What a bloody surprise!
At least we got a chance of fighting back.
Actually, before we do the
No.
initiative, so keep your initiative roll. But can I have from Otto and from either one of you two a D6 roll, please?
D6. 2, please.
Got a 1 from Otto.
Okay. That's cool. So we'll deal with Otto's combat first in the order, but obviously have separate initiative rolls.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
So, sea combat, we've got Otto and the shark. So, Otto, your initiative is what?
I rolled the 2, and I have a whole +1. So 3.
Going well. It's going well.
Not good.
Oh,
Not
my
good at all.
apologies. It's +2 on this, so it's a whole 4. Yeah.
4. That makes it so much better. You've equalled its bonus.
Yay.
And in the
You couldn't
In
write
this-
it, could you?
in the swampy forest, we have Elora. Esther.
Yes, Elora is a... Oh, sorry.
Ogvar,
Hello.
and those. Okay, so numbers, please.
Elora rolled a 13 plus a 7 for a total of 21. Oh
Nice.
no, hang on, not plus a 7, plus an 8. Sorry, so that's... Yeah, sorry, 21. It's a 13 plus an 8 for 21.
It's a hell of a match.
I can't maths.
Yeah. Okay, cool, yeah.
Okay, Ogvar.
Rolled a 19 with a plus 6 for a 24. 25. 25.
Are we sure about that?
Yes, a 19 and a 6 makes 25.
Okay, and if somebody want to roll me a d20 for Esther, please.
Okay. I rolled a 5.
Good job. And let me just check what Esther's got.
Come on, Esther, save us. The Otto and his magnolia plant.
It's alright, it'll be fine.
5.
Yeah.
So Esther's only got a 9.
Okay.
Okay. So I have at sea the creature, which you quickly realise is a very large shark, Otto, is sat at 18 with you sat at 2. In the forest we had Ogvar leading with 25, Elora with 21, the vine-like creature at 17, and Esther following behind at 9. So, what we're going to do is we're going to run these as 2 separate combats. We are going to go one group and then the other group, following through in their combat order. So, to start off with, in the water. Otto, you were bitten, I believe, weren't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And if we retcon that, I'm all up for it.
No, we're not going to retcon that.
Worth a try.
You can keep those puncture wounds. So, in the sea, Otto, you begin to flail around as this humongous shark begins to bite down on you once more with a 31 to hit.
Yes, that will hit. Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
So it is then going to deal 16 points of piercing damage as it begins to nosh down on you. Your kind of gelatinous form getting punctured.
Is that the number of teeth that sink in, is it?
You know what it is now? Yeah.
Thanks, Sam.
1 point for every tooth.
Okay.
remember that.
And it is going to attempt to grapple you without an attack of opportunity with its improved grab. So it's going to... Can you make me a contested grapple, please?
I can. Okay, whatever it is, it's going to be a lot lower than that thing, unfortunately. So I'm looking for it. I can't find it. I rolled an 11. Let's put it that way. It's not going to be enough, is it?
54.
Yeah. Just consider me grappled.
And you know what? You are now grappled. But at the end of its turn, it is now your turn, Otto.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Well, leaking is the first word that comes to mind.
Is that ink or blood?
Probably a bit of both. Okay, I have one solution, and I'm not sure how good a solution is, but we're going to go for it. So, over the years, of course, Otto's picked up a large amount of knowledge about the natural world. He's spent a lot of time reading up about these things. There's a reasonable chance he might have heard of a hagfish. So hagfish is a lovely little creature that, under stress, produces an inordinate amount of slime. And they're also quite small, which is kind of where I'm going. So my plan here is
Okay.
to go full hagfish in all its minuscule form and dive down this thing's throat.
Okay.
It can't catch me with its teeth if I'm inside it.
I mean, it's not going to oppose to you willingly swimming down its throat, so yeah, you turn into a hagfish, a small and slimy creature, and you swim down its throat.
So,
Speeding up the inevitable.
yeah, I mean, technically it's a move. I could do this as a move action, but I'd still have to move, so it makes no difference. That is going to be my goal here, to get into this thing's, well, gullet. I don't really want to be in its stomach, but I want to be down its throat somewhere. And then we'll have some fun next turn.
Okay, you slide
just
down
trust
its
me.
throat. I'm not sure that's a wise idea, but
I got him, he was nice.
Very nice knowing him.
You're about to see how nice he can really be if he's pushed to it, yeah.
He's a gentle soul.
You might need to carve another feather to go on the ship.
I wonder if Yaz has just worked out what I'm doing.
I've got it.
Okay, is that the end of your turn?
That is the entirety of Otto's turn, yeah. He's just getting away from the teeth.
Okay, right, yeah, that's the end of your turn. So, zooming over to the forests. It is this swampy land, the ground is wet and squelchy, and you have a writhing mass of dark green tentacles, which are flailing about around the three of you, as you'd been carrying a deer. I believe it's a stag. You'd been carrying that home, back to the ship. So top of the round, Ogvar.
Okay. How far away are we from it? Sort of around us.
It is around you, yeah. You are very close
Is there like
to
a
it.
central stem or central flower or something?
You can't see a flower. What you can see is you essentially have a 10-foot by 10-foot cube of writhing tentacles, which are, as they flail about, you see the underside of them where they would lie flat on the ground. And instead of suction cups or anything that you would expect to see, maybe suction cups like an octopus, you instead see eyes.
Okay. Right. Going on the fact that it's a plant and hoping this will do something, Ogvar will pick out of his side pocket of his backpack Colbean's bag of boom.
Okay.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. Boom, geezer.
Boom, geezer. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember what it does. I think it just does fire damage. Essentially, it's like...
It's essentially like a small pack of
I'm looking
C4.
at the DM. Okay.
It's essentially a small pack of C4.
How close
and
am
I
I to
don't.
it?
You are about 15 foot away from it. It was hidden pretty well when it sprung up.
Okay.
And I don't think I actually ever wrote down what Colbean's bag of boom did. So it would be 2d10's worth of fire damage.
Are you going to lob it? Is that how it works? You lob it, do you?
I think so.
Rambo
yeah.
style.
Yeah. And as I throw it, I want to turn around and just jump in the air so like the blast wave sort of
Dramatic.
pushes me away.
Michael Bay style.
Yeah.
Oh
We're
my
all going to jump in the air and...
Jump in the... Okay. Cloak's
Oh,
going to
dear
flap.
Lord. Okay. So you're throwing
This when I
the,
roll a 1, I'll just drop it on my feet.
you're throwing the bag of boom, yeah?
Yeah, we'll go for it, why not?
Can you make me a ranged attack, please? So dexterity based.
Just from the standard BAB.
Yeah, BAB dex.
BAB plus dex. That's going to be a... Okay, it's going to be a 23, a 10 plus a 13.
A 23. A 23 hits.
Hey!
Excellent.
So you
Don't forget the magic words.
lob this this bag. There's like a little kind of pull cord in it, which you pull out with your teeth, and you lob it. And as you pull it out, you hear the sound of as clearly something is lit. You throw it,
Okay.
and what do you do when you've thrown it? Are you turning around and jumping?
Well, first I've got a quote to go, boom, geezer. And, and then dive.
You got to hold that up for me.
What's that?
What,
Look at that.
what's it say? Boom,
Thank you very
geezer.
much.
Where's our cockroaches when we need them?
Perfect.
Okay, yeah.
So, you throw it. The bag of boom lands perfectly within this mass of writhing tentacles. It's actually snatched out of the air as one of these flailing limbs comes round and kind of like Whomping Willow, Harry Potter style, and kind of grabs and like pulls it in, clearly thinking that it's something to grab hold of. And you see it disappear into the central mass. And it is a couple of seconds later, as you jump and dive away from it, that you feel the heat of this explosion as there is a resounding boom and a large cloud of like orange flame and black smoke begins to belch upwards. And can you roll me that 2d10's worth of damage, please?
I certainly can.
2d10, nice.
An 8 and a 3 for 12.
Okay.
No, 11.
Preferred the first.
Yeah, I'll take 11. I'll take it.
Okay, so 11 points of damage, yeah. As you jump away, there's not a massive shock wave like you were expecting, but there's enough to ruffle your hair and blow your cloak about as you kind of dive away, and it looks very dramatic. Okay, next up in the round is Elora. That's if your turn is finished, sorry.
Yeah, I'll take the dive as my movement, I suppose. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll just check how far away
you
this
can
thing is
dive
from
5
me.
foot. About 15
Sorry,
foot.
how far?
15
Okay,
foot.
15 foot. Right. Okay. First thing she's going to do is she's going to shake Rowan loose from his pouch. Rowan, in the air, quick! She's going to shake the pouch, and then
Off Rowan
she
goes.
is, without hesitation, going to reach forward, shout, "Salis Radium!" and she's going to cast Salt Ray at the creature.
Nice, yeah.
Which I believe is an attack roll.
Yeah.
So let's have a
Believe
go.
so.
Right, so that's a 19 plus 9 for a 28 to hit.
Hits.
That's good.
Okay, and that will do 5d6 shredding damage. There is a fort save for 16, or it's stunned for 1 round on top.
Okay, a fort save. So let me grab a die. And where's his fortitude? Okay. With a natural 1, it's definitely not going to make that save.
Hey!
Okay, so it's going to be stunned for 1 round, and it's going to take 5d6 damage, which is, that's a 6, 4 for 10, 14, 15, 16, 17 points of damage.
Nice. Yeah, so you release this salt ray. 17, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, so you release your salt ray. And would you like to describe it for me, what the salt ray looks like? Because I think this is the first time you've used it.
I think I've used it once before. Actually, I think it failed. Can't remember. Anyway, yeah. So she's going to, as she casts her hand forward, she's going to twist from the back of her palm being up to the front of her. Sorry, the back of her hand being up to the front of her palm showing, and she's thrusting that out with all 5 fingers spread. Shout Salis Radium, and out of the tips of her fingers come this fine white silt, which it goes straight to the target and starts to shred through it. That's what that's doing.
Yeah, it's this salty blast is released, and you see that it's almost a bit like a sandblast, but it begins to take some of the surface of these tentacles off. They begin to ooze a dark green looking juice as it drips into the swamp water. And you can actually see that some of the more damaged tentacles are actually looking like they're being dehydrated actively, as the salt clearly has that kind of effect where it's like and like the moisture's sucked out. Okay, and are you doing anything else on your turn?
Is there anything behind? There's nothing behind me. Presumably this is in front of me, yeah?
Yeah, it's in front of you, and you are in kind of like a swampy terrain, so there are rotten logs, felled trees, quite long grass, so it's quite difficult terrain, so you will be moving half speed.
Okay, and I'm 5 foot away from Ogvar. I'm next to him, am I?
Yeah, you're all kind of clustered together because you were carrying this stag when you came across this this creature.
Yeah, I think she would. I think she would stay where she was. She would stay by Ogvar. She's going to stand her ground, create a united front, I think. And that would be the end of her turn.
Okay, and that is the end of your turn. Lovely. So, the creature, almost seeming to, it is a writhing mass of tentacles. It is just, it doesn't, you can't see any facial features. All you can see are tentacles. It's just a ball of tentacles at this point. And let me see. So, plus 9. I'm going to roll 2 d20s. A 16 and a 15 plus 9 each for 25 and 24. So 25 to Ogvar, 24 to Elora to hit.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's going to hit.
Yep, okay. So as you stand there and you've begun to stand your ground and fight against this creature, 3 of these tentacles come flailing out of the mass towards you as it kind of it moves up a little bit. The entire mass of it seems to kind of shuffle forwards, kind of 5 foot into the swampy water. And 3 tentacles emerge from the mass, writhing at each of you. So, Elora, you will take 4 and 3 for 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 15 points of bludgeoning damage to you as you are battered by these tentacles. And as they batter you, you catch sight of their eyes blinking up at you quite creepily. And Ogvar, 1, 4, 5, 6, 10 points of bludgeoning damage towards you. As you are just leathered by these very thick and heavy limbs. And that is the end of its turn. So, next up is Esther. Would somebody like to make me 2 attacks for Esther?
Okay. Someone else should have done it. I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Okay. So, for a grand total of a 14 and a 10, both of her attacks miss. She swings her sword at it, but the tentacles are too fast and too slippery. They retreat away from her blade, and she's just left kind of swatting fruitlessly at the air, attempting to hit it. And I should have I will retcon that myself, because it should have also attacked Esther with an 11 plus 9 for a 20. So it's going to attack Esther as well. 3 tentacles again. 4, 8, 9, 10 for 13 points of damage towards Esther. Okay.
Never mind, Esther, next time.
No, bug it. And then back to the ocean, where, Otto, you are currently residing inside the shark's gullet. The shark seems confused about this. It wasn't expecting you to crawl so willingly into its mouth. What it is going to do, considering it had you grappled previously and you are now willingly down its throat, it's going to make another grapple check in an attempt to dislodge you from your position and swallow you whole.
Okay.
So could you please make me a grapple check?
I just got that 20.
Really?
Beautiful.
What a time.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it swallows, and I mean, you can feel, as you are kind of in its throat, you feel its throat convulsing as it's clearly trying to swallow you down, and you're slipping down slightly, then slipping back up, and you're essentially just bobbling around and maybe playing with its tonsils slightly, as it is attempting to
punch bags out of its tonsils.
As it is attempting to dislodge you.
What I'd actually like, if it's possible, if it was possible to control it at all, is to allow it to swallow me, but to try and get myself stuck in it somewhere in its esophagus.
Well, I mean, you already were down its esophagus.
Perfect.
It's
That'd
just
be nice
currently trying to dislodge you, or to swallow you whole. And it can't manage it, evidently. And for anyone who would be looking in at this creature under the waves, you can see it kind of doing this kind of like C shape, kind of folding itself in half as it's swimming along, trying to clearly kind of like
has caterpillar
with bits of slime coming out of its side of its mouth as well.
Yeah, out of its gills and all sorts. Okay, and it can't really do anything else because you're currently down its throat. So on to you, Otto. What are you going to do?
Part of me wants to laugh evilly, but I kind of want to retain my breath. So, amongst all those different creatures that you might have encountered, would a sea urchin maybe one of them?
Oh,
you nasty bastard! Yes, it would.
So every time he wild shapes, he does get hit points back equal to his level. So he's going to turn into a sea urchin and feel a bit healthier. And what I'd really like to do, because the Master of Many Forms does grant him the ability to cast spells in his form. Now, all of my higher level spells are currently tied up with Woodshape. He's been using that every day to make improvements to the ship. But he's got a first level spell left called Babao Slime, which simply allows him to, for 5 minutes, mind, do 1d8 acid damage per time for every time he's touched, grappled, or every time he makes an attack with an actual attack. I'd like to cast that, please, Bob, as well.
Okay. So I will say one thing is you would have finished the ship a couple of days ago, or at least the day before. So at that point, would you still have retained the wood shape, or would you be?
He would have retained it for the moment, simply because he doesn't know if anyone else needs anything else doing. He's now regretting that decision, but it's there.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. So you turn into a sea urchin. Is there any physical penalties for something touching a sea urchin listed in the stat block?
I don't have a stat block, if I'm honest with you. I'm reliant on
for
DM's niceness. Yeah, there's nothing with 3.5 for a sea urchin.
1, 2.
I mean, we could look at giant porcupine or something like that. I guess that might be a thing.
Okay, pick a.
That's quite offensive, isn't it? Really?
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, so pick a number from 1 to 70 for me, please.
62.
62.
Yes.
So that is going to be 1 second. Okay, you are rolling d10s for the damage.
What?
Nice.
How many?
That's pretty fucking offensive, a sea urchin in the throat.
Acidic sea urchin.
I'm just going to put this out to the table. How many die do you guys think you should roll for a sea urchin stuck in the throat? And you can't say 300.
Oh.
Can we say yes?
Well, a sea urchin's quite small by comparison to
But it does release
most
toxins.
sharks, but it is quite offensive.
Yeah, and the spines are they're toxic, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They're not pleasant.
Plus, they break off
No.
if they really
They
get
break off. They're not. There's probably some toxic varieties, but mostly if you step on one, it's a case of the fact the spines break off and it's just painful.
What do you reckon then?
Don't know. You could roll for it.
Roll high for me. Roll high.
Well, I'm not doing it then.
Pick a roll range and just roll for it.
Just give me a number for how many d10s you should be rolling.
4.
3.
In advance.
Yeah. Go with. I'll go with 3. It's pretty offensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sea urchin in the throat.
Okay, there we go. So, Otto, you are rolling 3d10 worth of damage plus an extra.
Sorry, did you say 3? I said 300.
We misheard. You cut
So you
out,
roll-
Sam. Sorry, what was that?
So, Otto, you are rolling 3d10s worth of damage plus an extra d6 for toxin damage.
May I be cheeky and ask my D8 of acid damage as well, please?
Yes, you'll get that in a second. Just let's deal with the urchin
Okay.
damage first.
Okay, so I rolled relatively low. Total of 11 on those 4 dice.
Okay, that is shocking. Terrible. Okay,
feel good.
and then with your babao slime, that is how many? Sorry,
D8.
D6, did you say?
It's a D8.
D8.
But it says for each attack, but I think 1 seems fair, given you've been nice to me and given me 3 D10s. So I've done 4.
4 points of damage.
Yep.
Okay. I tell you what. Let's make this a little bit interesting. So let's roll it back slightly. What I'm going to say is you can still roll d10s, but as you are lodged in its throat, I want you to roll me a d20.
17.
17. 17 of your spines do damage.
Oh.
So, I want you to roll 17 d10,
What?
and with your babao slime, you can then roll. We'll use your babao slime as the toxin, so you can roll 8d6 for toxin damage.
Okay, I'll take it. 17 D10. Are you sure?
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
Okay, that's 15. This is better off 3 dice than it was off the 5. 15, 20, 25 off 6. 30, 38 off of 9. 40, 54 off of 12. 54. 80, 85. 90 plus the d6s, the 96 you said? Sorry, 66
Yeah.
you said. 66. So
Did I say 5? 8d6.
86. Well, they're rolling very low. That's 10, that's 13. That's 22 for a combined total of 112.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. I mean, that's part of the reason why I've done that is because it is particularly offensive having a sea urchin down the throat. This is a particularly unguarded area of the shark. You've cast babao slime, which I'm just going to substitute for toxin damage. And yeah, it's certainly the way it convulses and bends. It's very much not having a pleasant time now.
I feel
the
better
end?
about that. Probably a lot better than the shark does.
No, I mean the shark's doing all right.
I'll see what I can do to change that.
And is that the end of your turn?
I think I've done enough for one turn. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Guys.
As our companions parted company, Elora, Ogvar, Esther and Eric flew the ship to the nearest tree line to both disembark and subsequently embark on a hunt for fresh food and forage supplies with which to grace Paul's galley. Predictably, shit went sideways and things got messy as a bushy battle began along with an explosive enterprise. Meanwhile, back at the cove below the cliffs, the druid found some quiet tranquility in which to decompress after his earlier spiritual disagreement with the sorceress. However, his peaceful plunge into the waves was usurped by an unexpected and very unfriendly visitor, leaving him no choice but to give its tonsils a good old tickle. Thanks for being back with us again, and join us next week for episode 169. Hey, you made it this far, so lend us your ears for a moment longer if you will. Firstly, we are most humbled that you are enjoying our yarn, and the crew thank you from the bottom of their hearts for your patronage. Producing this podcast is incredibly hard work, and as such, if you would like to support us, there are a few ways in which you could really make a difference. Sharing links to friends and family helps to spread the word so others like you can find us, and in turn they too can enjoy the show. Equally helpful is leaving a 5-star review on Spotify and any other streaming services, which will help us immensely. Or, if you feel you could go that extra mile and contribute a few coppers to keep our creative juices flowing, you can hop on over to our Buy Me a Coffee page or drop us an email. We would all be immensely grateful for your support in any form. Lastly, we invite you to visit our website, where you will find information on our campaign from backstories to settings. Join our Facebook group or follow us on Twitter. All the links are in our episode bios. Don't forget to smash the subscribe and download buttons so you never miss the next episode. See you all again next week, folks.